Welcome back to Tent Talks here at Celebrate Nashville in Centennial Park. I'm Lee Booley. I'm your host today. I'm with the Nashville Public Library, and we are broadcasting live from Centennial Park, but also at our studios at Mel'Keta Studio. Thanks to Cameron, Eric, and Sam making it happen there in partnership with production services, both departments of the Nashville Public Library. I'm here with Mel'Keta.
Yes, it's Mel'Keta.
Mel'Keta, and she is going to talk to us about Rock Sharky dance.
Yes.
And so this is a new dance to me. So just tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, that very thing right there that you just said, this is a new dance to you. Well, that term is what is a new term to you. It's not a new dance, because if I were to say the term belly dance to you, then you would automatically find an association. And now there's the problem that comes in there with the terms that are being used, because Rock Sharky, it literally means, Eastern dance, dance of the East. So, you have the dances that are coming from Egypt, North Africa, the whole Amenemhat area, and that is what it refers to. So just as we dance and go to parties and celebrate, it is literally just people dancing. Rock Sharky is something that is done socially. It's a social gathering dance, but yet and still, the art of it is called that. But then somehow, as we come to the term of belly dance, we now it starts to mutate. I want to use the word mutate because we, as you think about it, there have been terms that have been used to evolve. Dances evolve, dances transform. Now we have words like fusion, synthesis. There are all these terms that are coming forth and that are being applied to the world of belly dance. Okay. However, when we think about Rock Sharky, it is what it is. It is literally Eastern dance. It's not that it's came from nowhere. A lot of people, they'll say, oh, belly dance, and then they just start adding things to it. This dance has an origin. And so in knowing that it has an origin, it is very important that people understand that you cannot simply add or take away and think that it's okay. Here we come in with that term appropriation. So there are a lot of schools of thought when it comes down to it, a lot of schools of thought that come in terms of saying how the dance has evolved, how the dance is being transformed. But the problem with that is that the term belly dance, it's a misnomer, okay? Because belly dance, literally, what is somebody going to do when you say the term belly dance? They're like, ooh, literally, all of a sudden they want to start shaking their belly and wiggling around. Literally wiggling around. So, it's important that people understand that the term Rock Sharky, it's Eastern dance, and it involves your entire body.
Can you tell me more about the origins and why it means so much to you?
Okay, well, the origins of it, again, as I said, they come Middle Eastern, North Africa. This is where the dance comes from. We have different forms of the dance. Like we say, genres, just like we have ballet, modern, jazz, all of these different genres of dance. So it is the same with Rock Sharky. It is Eastern dance. However, you have different styles within the dance. You have different forms that are done. Everybody, when they say belly dance, immediately you feel that we're only going to focus on the bedla, or the bra and belt, because that is visually what you think of when, the term belly dance comes to mind. You think of the bra, the skirt, fringe, and things moving around.
Right.
However, there's different styles. There are many different styles within the art form. You have forms like Saidi, Debke, Khaliji. There's all different forms that come from different regions. And so in us being able to look at it and say belly dance and only see this one poster child, only this one picture of it being, be it a man or a woman, dancing and having finger symbols, which, zagat, having finger symbols and dancing around, that we really want to start to try and get away from, because it's so much more than that. And as I said to you earlier, the term, rock sharky, when I say that term to you, it makes you wonder. So therefore, if we don't get anything out of this today, the most important part that I want you to take away is that we need to open up the dialogue. There must become an open dialogue when it comes down to this art form. Instead of, like, if I came up to you and I said, oh, if you asked me, well, what do you do? Oh, well, if I said I'm a belly dancer, immediately you've already taken your perspective, you have it set in your mind, your already preconceived notion of what it's going to be, and that's that. It wouldn't matter anything else that I said. But saying rock sharky, it allows for the dialogue to be opened and allows for you to be able to become inquisitive. And so that gives me the opportunity to share with you all of the different styles, to share with you what the dance is, how the dance should look, feel, and how it moves. Now, go ahead.
Well, we won't be able to get into all the styles today because it sounds like it's a very diverse practice of dance within rock sharky. But is there one area that you focus on that's your area of expertise or that you enjoy performing the most? You are a dancer, correct?
Correct, I am. Yes, so I enjoy the Egyptian style. I have found that, I've become rather passionate about it. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the Egyptian rock sharky. Now, Egyptian rock sharky is, as it's done, it is more internal movement. The movements are small. Many times you'll see dancing, and you'll see it that's put on in a grander, more of on a grander scale. So you'll see, lots of bigger movements. Now, there's all sorts of, forms that are out there, within the dance, but when we start talking about the Egyptian, the sun.
I know, the sun, it's getting me too. I've got sunscreen. I'm like, I'm not trying to wink at you. I've got sunscreen in my eye.
Okay, so when we start talking about the Egyptian style of the dance, the moves are very, very refined. They're internal. If we talk about the golden era, if we take it back to the days of Muhammad Ali Street and start talking about some of the awalim and, Zuba Kubatea, which was one of the most renowned awalim at the time, which Muhammad Ali Street, I'll give you a little background on that. That was the area, like the musicians' area. So many times, there would be weddings and, social parties and things that would happen. And this is where all of the musicians culminated. And this is where, they really were. So, if you needed somebody for a party or so on and so forth, that was where you would go and you would find the musicians and the artists that you needed. Now, within the dance, you'll see we've gone through the golden era, and you would, a lot of times people will say, and there have been articles out there written about, Oriental fantasy and so on and so forth. The Oriental fantasy of what you would see in Hollywood, things that are done for cinema. But yet and still, the dance itself is still a social dance. There are moves that you may have seen on this big screen that aren't necessarily a part of the cultural social dance itself. So when we think and talk about the Egyptian style of the dance, everything remains nice and refined. You're not going to see large movements. You're not going to see a lot of gyrating and things of that nature. A lot of movements that are going to be how would you put it? Overly done.
So it's more subtle.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of subtle, controlled movements. Also, let's turn that over because also when we talk about let's think back to the days of the big concerts and stuff with Kulthum, because some of the songs today that we will do are classic songs, and those concerts that were done, just one song alone would take up an entire concert. So many times they would have a dancer that would come and they would dance, but the dancing it wasn't about being able to show off. You see a lot of showing off. You see a lot of look at me, look at what I can do. How much robotic movement, pretty much, that I can place within a matter of a 6-minute song. So, just think about that. Imagine if you were going at that kind of pace and you were doing a night-long concert.
It'd be a marathon. It'd be exhausting.
You'd be out of your mind, right?
You said something that I want to pause on. It's not about showing off. And it's interesting because while you've been talking about Rock Sharki, and in particular the Egyptian form, it seems to me that maybe for you it's about a self-expression of joy and I don't know if that becomes. Tell me more about like how that is social. Like, is it joy, or is it maybe even sometimes like dealing with somber things?
Yes, when we talk about the dance, we talk about, like I said, the feel, the makamat, okay, which are the different. You have the ikams, which are your ikams, and you've got your makamats. Okay, and we're talking about the different rhythms, the different moods, the different tones. These are things that set the pace. It's almost like saying a pop song versus a country song,
Yeah.
So when we go through it and we talk about that, yes, it's 100% about the feel of the dance. It's about being able to express the song through the body. So as you're dancing, you're not looking to put every single movement that you possibly have to offer to your audience into that performance. It's not about that. It's not about being able to show off, as I said before. It's about being able to truly work a cathartic, feeling within your audience, allowing for them to be able to feel the music, allowing for them to be able to understand what the music is doing. And that, the body is the medium in which that takes place. So, yeah, I mean, it's 100% about feeling. It's 100% about being able to convey to your audience, what the mood and the modality of the song.
It's very well said. I can tell you have you're a student as well as a practicer of the dance, or a dancer.
Oh, yeah, student for life.
Student for life. We need to all be
Always,
students
always.
for life. And hopefully we're all dancers for life. I love dance a lot. And I actually I was classically trained and then modern in college. But I have noticed a theme with kind of like I want to say like contemporary social dance. I know we're not talking about fads here, but kind of like the faddish dancing, moving towards more subtle movements in some circles. And that's kind of interesting to me. Have you noticed that as well, that there's a little bit more of that?
Yeah, it's more because what's happening is the Western world is starting to get they're starting to grab on a hold to more of the Eastern styles of dance. Because if you notice, you look at, again, Africa, you look at the Middle East, all the dances, the Gulf areas, all those dances, they incorporate more subtle movement, because within the culture and the movement, it's the goal is to really connect. You want to connect with your music. It's not just about being able to, as you said, like prior times, everybody wants to just get up there and like breakdancing. Let's talk about breakdancing for a minute.
Okay.
Breakdancing, the music is doing what it's doing, and yeah, you're in time with it, but at the same time, there's a lot going on.
It's a lot of athleticism being shown. Like, look how I can balance, or.
I mean, trust me, I could never do it.
It's pretty amazing to watch.
It is. It's very amazing. I always think about the headstands and the head spins.
I know.
I'm like,
my
oh
neck.
my God. I'm like, I wish I could do that.
I mean, I love all kinds of dance because I think it's just so good for people to move and to feel music. But I appreciate so much what you're saying about, like, this is about feeling the music, and that can be a really subtle thing that's still very skillful. Like, there's a lot of expertise in it, and it's beautiful. For our viewers that want to learn more about Rock Sharki, are you doing a dance today?
Yes, we will be performing today on the cafe stage that we'll be performing.
What time?
At 2:15.
2:15. So coming up. Okay. Now, if somebody is coming to watch one of your performances, what can they expect?
Oh boy, they could expect to be engaged by various styles of the dance. Like today, I will be doing Saidi and Beledi piece to open, and then from there, I will take it back to the golden era. of Kalthum and some of the dancers that when the dance was a bit more simpler, and again you'll be able to see the true difference of rock sharki, being able to see that those refined and close, subtle movements, wherein you have to really settle yourself and pay attention to what it is that you're watching. And many times, I prefer that. I have to say that I recall many artists prior, and those that I've talked to, they'll say, hey, when I would dance around and be moving all over the place, it's like, yeah, it was great. And I found that, people, they became used to it. But when you stop, like if you were dancing and then you stop into one single place, and then you begin to move subtly, all of a sudden, you grab attention. They want to understand, they want to know what's happening. So it almost like it pulls them in versus, you exploding and giving them all of this energy. Once you start refining it, then it draws them into you. And you're now telling your audience how to feel, how to think, how to, look at the dance. And so that's pretty much where we want to go with it. And like I said,
Powerful.
Yes, there are so many areas in which, this dance needs to be talked and expressed and points that need to be made with it. But yeah, as I said, we will not have enough time today. However, at least if we're able to open that dialogue, get that going. And as I said, rock sharki versus belly dance. I say belly dance, you're just going to go on your westernly way, and hey, that's it, right? In the mentality.
Not
but
anymore.
if I say
Anymore.
but if I say rock sharki, now you're going to be really curious as to say, okay, well, what is this? So in that, my goal is for people to start being able to truly see the dance itself instead of looking at the fads and immediately having that as a poster child in their mind when they hear the term belly dance.
Oh, I think you're on your way to accomplishing that mission. Now, when you are performing today and other times, do you take time to do this educational component, or is it just you perform the dance?
Each right here in Nashville on Nolensville Pike at Casa Azafran.
Oh, Casa Azafran.
Yes.
Very
So
good.
I teach for global education. Well, I don't teach for, but I teach out of the global education studios that are at Casa Azafran.
So if somebody wants to sign up for the class, they just go to the Casa. Well, you tell me, how do they?
Well,
how
if they
do
wanted to sign up for the class, what they would do is they would go to my website, which is melketasragba.com. And on that page, you'll go to the classes section, and on there you'll be able to find out all the information about my classes. You can also follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. My name is Mel'Keta, and my page is Mel'Keta Zragba. So it's MELKETASRAGHBA. So
Great. I'm sure the viewers at home are writing that down so they can come take your dance classes. But if you're looking for see her at the stage, I'm sure it's going to be wonderful and beautiful and interesting.
Yes,
and
I'm excited. We're really happy to be here and to be enjoying, Celebrate Nashville.
So on that note, what is one of your favorite things about Celebrate Nashville?
It's the richness of diversity. I absolutely love it. I love being able to come out and enjoy other cultures, being able to come out and allow and be able to see them expressing and sharing what's dearest to their heart, because just as I enjoy sharing this dance and allowing for other people to experience it, I also enjoy being able to go and experience that which other people have to offer. So it's a beautiful marriage of diversity, culture, and just people coming together. It's beautiful.
I really like the way you said that, and it definitely makes the world a more interesting place.
Yes, it does. As I said, diversity is the spice of life.
It certainly is. And I've been thinking today, like, the more diverse we are, the more we're alike.
Yeah.
So, well, I would love to talk to you more about dance sometime at NECAT. Maybe we can sit down and have a longer conversation
I would
on
love
air
that.
and help educate.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Mel'Keta.
Yes.
Talking about rock sharki here at Celebrate Nashville, the Tent Talks hosted by NECAT, a department of the Nashville Public Library.